It feels like every time you get a new game, you learn the mechanics, start to understand how it works, but you can't stop yourself from next time, I'll actually commit to playing. I swear. But why do we resort to these comfort games? I mean, the only reason they're as meaningful as they are is because we gave them a chance to begin with. But if you don't understand what keeps you coming back, you may never give another game that chance again. So by the end of this video, you'll understand why your brain keeps pulling you back and how that might be quietly working against you. But we rarely recognize it when it's happening, because these memories are happy. We think back to sitting with our friends or siblings in front of the TV, playing the game we'd been looking forward to all week. Whether you were the one playing or you were watching someone else, everyone was so invested. Invested in the game, and only the game. We didn't have a million thoughts racing through our head. We didn't have all this anxiety about things coming up next week. We just had the game. For me, this has been several games. The Bakugan Wii game, Skate 3, and Assassin's Creed, just to name a few. These games remind me of a time that doesn't exist anymore. A time that never really existed. When your biggest concern was trying to convince everyone around you that you weren't tired, even though you kept falling in and out of sleep. Until eventually, you fell asleep. We remember waking up in the middle of the night. Everyone around us passed out, either on a chair, on the couch, or on the floor. The only source of light being the TV still on the game's loading screen. And you heard the game's music. The very music you now listen to when you need to clear your head. But why? Why do we rely on our past experiences to make the future seem less scary? And is that a bad thing? Well, before we can answer those questions, we need to understand why new games just don't feel the same. Now, saying that modern gaming only feels different because of nostalgia simply isn't true. There's been a massive switch from games just wanting to make the best experience possible to now doing whatever they can to maximize player retention and manipulate them into coming back. Modern games leverage psychological tricks to enhance engagement. One way they do this is by making rewards and drops unpredictable, as a way to stimulate the brain's reward system. This is known as variable ratio reinforcement, and the only reason games weaponize it is because it works. I'm not going to get into all the minutiae of how that works, but linked below is a video that does exactly that. But the thing is, even with all this corporate greed, kids still get that magic from video games. The magic that we can't seem to latch onto. Have you ever noticed that the first time you listen to a song, it has so much more emotional impact and seems almost never-ending? No? Well, you've probably experienced the inverse, where as you listen to a song more and more, as you learn the lyrics and exactly how each part of the song goes, it starts to go by so quickly, and suddenly doesn't have anywhere near the depth it once had. Well, that's because that stimulus isn't new anymore, and our brain prioritizes new information, so it gives it way less significance. It's the same reason that time seems to move faster as we age. Now consider how many games you've played, how many quests you've experienced, hell, even how much of the real world you've experienced, and compare those things to when you were a kid. Yeah, games are going to be less new and less magical. But sometimes, games having new experiences can actually feel worse for older players. Learning a new game takes a lot out of you. You need to learn a new UI, new mechanics, and, if it's online, the different shorthands people will use while talking to you. All this learning being required is known as high cognitive load, where you have to invest a ton of brain power early on just to make sure that you have a good time playing later. This used to not be a problem, but things are different when you have a job, bills, and responsibilities. Suddenly this newness isn't a magical adventure, it's a chore. It's a daunting task, one that seems way less worth it than just opening up that comfort game. But another daunting task can actually just be picking a game. I mean, how many times have you opened up your game library and spent 20 minutes scrolling? Again, you're an adult. Your time is now valuable. You wouldn't want to make a mistake and choose a game you won't finish. So clearly it makes sense that we go to comfort games. But what do they actually do for us? And how can they work against you? Nostalgia is an illness for those who haven't realized that today, is tomorrow's nostalgia. Although we know nostalgia primarily as an emotional state, it actually used to be considered a mental illness. See, back in 17th century Switzerland, some soldiers were found to literally miss their homes and families so much that they couldn't sleep, would get fevers, or some reportedly died from yearning. And that condition was called nostalgia. But by the 19th century, people realized it's kind of normal to miss home. And it became more of an emotion than a medical condition. A longing to feel the way you did at X point in your past, but not realizing that what you remember isn't the whole truth. Nostalgia is a file that removes the rough edges from the good old days. Nostalgia is a powerful thing, but contrary to what everyone says, it's not actually guided by your memories. We reminisce on moments not for what they were or for what actually happened, but for what we feel happened. And that's a crucial distinction. If you've ever heard the expression rose-tinted glasses in this context, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. We idealize these moments, and our brains choose the things that make them special, completely disregarding all the other circumstances. And this isn't something we do consciously, which is exactly why it works. Because we really do think that these moments were perfect, and we gotta do everything we can to get back to them. But nostalgia has an evil twin that takes these feelings, the ones we look fondly to in rough times, and keeps them in our heads, making every current moment feel drawn out and every past moment feel like everything you want out of life. It makes being emotionally present impossible and makes the past the only comfort you have. This is known as rumination, and it's an all too familiar trap. It's like sitting in an empty movie theater with your life playing on the big screen, but you're looking at highlight reels on your phone. But even without rumination, you've probably still felt nostalgic in a sad context. It's often talked about like it's a happy thing, like we're actually able to transport to those carefree moments. And then we're faced with the sad reality that those moments truly are gone. And with them, the carefree head you didn't realize at the time was so quiet. And science backs that up. A 2010 study on nostalgia found that when happiness is low, engaging in nostalgic reverie about the past may make the present feel particularly bleak by comparison. We feel like our longing for the past is being satiated when we play these games. But the truth is, it's only made worse because we're not actually meeting the need. So knowing that, what are you going to do about it? And if you're not sure, here are some suggestions. Now first, assess what the actual need is. Because odds are, the need isn't to feel like a kid again, it's to not feel how exhausted you are now. It's to give your brain a break. But letting these memories control you does the exact opposite, and could make you feel even more exhausted. So one of the best ways to avoid that is to remove the stakes. No, not those types of stakes. I mean no, not that one either. Just remove the pressure. And an easy way to do this is by giving yourself 10 minutes. Literally. Set a 10-minute timer. Go open up that game you've been eyeing and play and progress for 10 minutes. And if the timer goes off and the game isn't quite scratching the itch, then by all means go boot up your old console you got off eBay. The worst case scenario is that you're a little more progressed in the game and the next 10 minutes may be a bit more fun. But when a new game finally does scratch that itch, make sure you do what I've been doing. Treat having fun in the game as a goal. Here, let me go grab something. Alright. Now, if you've ever tried to take a goal seriously or have ever existed in a business setting, you've probably seen this. This is a solid acronym that guides you through setting a goal, making sure it's specific, measurable, achievable. You get the point. Anyways, this is how a lot of us unintentionally play video games as we get older. We want to maximize our efficiency, making sure we're getting the most out of our much more valuable time. But honestly, this sucks. Play a game because you want to. Play a game just to run around and explore the world. Play a game and go do the low-level quests that literally provide you with nothing. Play a game for fun. I mean, this is definitely what's helped me the most. I've been doing this recently with Minecraft's MMORPG, Winecraft, and it has been amazing. If you want to learn about Winecraft and find out how it broke the mold of the toxic modern MMORPG, well, check out this video I made about it. And in my last video, I mentioned that the MC in my name doesn't actually stand for Minecraft and asked what you guys thought it meant. My favorite being Yikes. minced cabbage. No one guessed what it actually stands for, but let me know what you think it is, and I'll feature my favorite at the end of my next video. Thank you so much to my members. Consider helping me hit 10,000 subscribers, and I'll see you guys next time.